Hey, what's up guys? Mac here, and today I'm going to be telling you a story about how I broke my ankle. Now it goes all the way back to when I first started skating. It was a couple months ago, and I had this really old Walmart skateboard. It was a Kryptonics board. It did the job to get me started out with, but I really wanted something more. So eventually, I saved up enough money to actually get a real skateboard. So I went to my local skate shop and I bought a skateboard for about 160, 170. And when I first got on it, I just went in my patio. And when I first got on it, it was a little shaky, and I didn't know if I was ready or not. So I rode it for a little bit, rode on my patio, just rode around. And eventually, I wanted to actually go to the skate park and try it out. Now, I've been to the skate park once or twice before when I was like 9 or 10, and I didn't really go on big ramps or anything, but yeah. So, anyways, I go to the skate park, and I go with my friend Evan. He's a really nice kid, but anyways, I go with him, and we go to the skate park, and there's this one retarded kid, and yeah, we messed with it. We didn't really mess with him, but he had this Walmart skateboard, and he was like, "Where did you get that from?" And he's like, "I got for Christmas," but I'm not gonna talk about that. But then there's this one really good skater. I didn't really catch his name, but when I first got there, I just kind of rode around on the pavement a little bit just to get my bearings, no pun intended. But then I actually went on the ramp. Now Evan, that's my friend's name. He went down the ramp, and he went down fine. And I asked him like how he rolled down it. Did he just roll or did he kick off at first? And he said he rolled, but I didn't really feel comfortable doing that. So I ended up kicking off, which now that I know I broke my ankle, I probably shouldn't have done it. What I did is I went off the ramp, but I kicked off, and I got all the way to the bottom. And then what I must have did is I must have not leaned forward. I must have like popped back on my tail from leaning back too much. And my ankle like rolled over, and I like put all my weight down on it. So it just snapped in two. It was the nastiest thing ever. My foot was almost turned like backwards. Like it was so nasty. And my first reaction was just to scream. I just screamed really, really loud. I don't know why, but I did. And luckily my mom was there, so she got out and helped, and we called 911. And the weird thing about it was it didn't even really hurt. I think just the shock of actually breaking my ankle made me scream. But when it first happened, it really just felt like really like if you ever get a cramp in your calf, it felt like that, but like a cramp in my ankle. It's really hard to explain. Probably only people that have broken a bone probably know what I'm talking about. But yeah, eventually the ambulance gets there. I get on the ambulance. It takes them like 25 minutes to actually find a vein and get the IV in my arm. So they missed 5 times on my left arm and 2 times on my right arm, and they eventually got it. And then they put me on a big dose of morphine because apparently my body is really immune to medicines and painkillers. So eventually they get me to the emergency room, and at that point that's when the actual real bad pain starts. So they've given me like so much pain medication, like they actually ran a drug screen on me because they thought I was a drug addict because it wasn't affecting me, and I'm not that big of a guy, so it should have worked really easily, but it didn't. But so eventually they took an X-ray of my foot, and that was really painful. And at that point, I'm still in the emergency room. It's been about 4 hours since I've got there, because they didn't have any rooms open. But eventually, like at around like 12:30 at night, I finally got a room, And that whole night I couldn't sleep at all because I was just in so much pain. But yeah, and just thinking about just all the things happening, and it just sucked thinking about how I couldn't play any sports or play anything. But yeah, then the next morning came. It was about 7:30, and I was told I was going to get surgery on my ankle. And at first they weren't even gonna put me to sleep at all. They were just gonna do it with me awake, because they weren't gonna do open surgery. They were just gonna pop it back into place. But the doctor said that it would be, if since I was in so much pain right now, I wouldn't be able to handle it. So they ended up putting me under, and they did it, and I woke up, and it was over. They said they probably wouldn't have been able to put a cast on me because the swelling. But I woke up. I did have a cast on, so then I waited in the hospital for about 5 more hours, and they eventually let me out. And they rolled me in a wheelchair out. I got into the car, and then I got home, and then I stayed home for the rest of the week. For the rest of the week from school, I didn't go to school for a whole week. I went the Friday of that week, but. Anyways, that was the worst pain of my life. I've never felt any pain that's been worse than that. But yeah, I'm still in the boot. I can walk on it now, and I'm only in it for like 2 more weeks, and then I'm completely out. So hopefully I'll be able to make it in time for baseball, and I should if I can walk on it without any pain. And yeah, I wanted to tell you guys this story so you know why. This is the main reason why I haven't been posting lately. And yeah, I mean, now that I'm getting better and everything's all good, I should be able to post a lot more. And I just hope no one. I mean, it's inevitable not to break any bones, but a lot of people don't. But I just hope none of you have to go through this, or I hope people that have gone through this feels better now. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this little story. I'll see you guys Tuesday. I might post sometime this weekend, but I'll see you guys Tuesday. And yeah, cue the music.